Oh, come on. Outside. Go outside.
Can everybody hear me? Just doing an audio check.
Hey Debbie, yes, this is Mel. I can hear you.
There you go. Great. Thank you very much.
And everybody, thanks for joining. I'm going to give it just another couple minutes. I want to make sure that we've got most folks on the line before we get things kicked off.
Hey Mel, good afternoon.
She doesn't.
All right, once again, I'm just giving it another minute or two. Make sure everybody has an opportunity to log on, and then we will get started. Thanks for your patience. All right, it's about three after the hour, and I think we're just at about 50 attendees. So let's go ahead and kick things off. It's been quite a number of months since we've met. We've had a lot of different conferences that have come up, and we were also very conscious of the fact that we were butting up against the 4th of July holiday. So we canceled a number of these user group calls. So excited to hear what everyone has been up to in the interim, and glad to get these started again, and that these are meetings are still on your calendar. So thanks for joining today. Today, we've got just a couple of announcements. Want to do some brainstorming. I feel like this is a new opportunity with these calls restarting after a little bit of a vacation. Would love to figure out where we could go with these, what kind of topics people are really thinking about, what challenges you might have, where you might want to learn from your peers, and what kinds of uh, discussions we want to have in the months to come. So that's definitely something we want to spend some time on today. And then there is a new AI functionality that's been released for Rhapsody. And so we've got Debbie Frederick and Sean Tam on the line to talk a little bit about that and the rollout, and want to have an open discussion following that about all things AI, whether related to Rhapsody or data integration, and how you are using it, how you might want to use it, what's holding you back, what kind of crazy ideas you have, what else you might want to learn about it. So that's the topic for today. All right. Um, so again, we're going to be going back to our usual monthly schedule. Next meeting will be the first Wednesday of September. That's September 2nd, 2 p.m. Eastern. Still trying to finalize a topic. Other things that we know we want to cover, I believe that, and Sean can give a little bit of a teaser for this, that Rhapsody's been doing some review of some product telemetry and product usage. So there may be an opportunity for us to learn some input on how many com points and what they're being used for, storage sizes and the like. So interested to see how all of the different public health agencies kind of compare, and that might be an interesting topic. All right, so would love to hear from folks. What's been going on in the months since we've last met? What have you guys been up to, and most especially, like, what do you want to, what kinds of challenges or topics might you be interested in for this user group?
Well, hey, I'll go first. Jim St. Clair, Director Data Modernization for Mississippi Department of Health. And this is my first meeting back. I used to participate quite a bit last year when I was still with Alterum, and I'm thrilled to be able to rejoin the group. A couple familiar faces on here, so hello. It's good to be able to reconnect with you. We have a Rhapsody implementation that in the last 90 days I've been on board, I've been digging into, and have some plans for modernization alongside with our EpiTrax implementation, but also more broadly as part of our AWS cloud migration, bringing in Databricks and Snowflake, and really starting to kind of try and visualize what does the future of predictive intelligence mean, what feeds we can use, a relationship with the HIE, et cetera. So excited to be here and learn from everyone.
That is really exciting, Jim. Thanks for that. So what exactly are you migrating to the cloud? Is Rhapsody also moving to the cloud?
I feel like a fool saying this. I think we're hosting it in the cloud right
Okay.
now, but it might be in our statewide data center. I have to double check. But yes, ultimately it'll probably get migrated as well.
Mhm.
And so all of our concept of a data lake and supporting integration infrastructure will be AWS hosted in various VPCs. And from there just see, put Rhapsody through its paces and see what's capable. So Debbie and I will reconnect and chat some more, because I'm excited about the new agentic features and where we can put that into our pipeline.
Very exciting. So Rhapsody is going to be supporting the new EpiTrax implementation. Is that right, Jim?
Yeah, and we also have a very notional plan about our ECR migration, because we're not as far along in ECR as a lot of states are, and states that I helped before when I was with Alterum. But we're gonna pace that with our EpiTrax implementation and my working with our Epi team.
Very exciting. All right. Well, this is definitely a good group for you to reach out to get some ideas about how others have approached um, similar efforts, and keep us updated about how it goes, and um, any resources you might need, whether it's templates for, user acceptance testing or whatever. You can reach out to this community and we might be able to hook you up.
Sounds awesome. Thanks very much. Yeah, I look forward to participating.
All right. Others who would like to share what's been going on. I know we've got some good representation from a number of jurisdictions on today.
Hey all, this is Paul from Oregon Health Authority. We got our LRN interface nice and happy in the last couple months, so that's been nice. It's probably like our biggest Rhapsody win. We're also doing fire training on my team, um, but that's not really touching on Rhapsody yet.
Paul, where are you all doing fire training?
Oh, with the HL7 Academy, it's the
Oh,
HL7
through,
fundamentals. Oh,
okay, so through the Rhapsody Academy? Through
yes,
Raps?
yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Uh,
I didn't know if you were doing it
oh no,
someplace else or not. Okay, cool.
No, I'm sorry, not the Rhapsody Academy. I think it's just called HL7 Fundamentals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, HL7 also offers fire training during their working group meetings and stuff. I think that's what you're doing, Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a separate fire fundamentals course. I actually took that before as well from HL7 directly.
I got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. I thought maybe we have one too, so I was just curious if you were taking it from our side or through somebody else. So cool.
So,
Hmm.
Paul, here's a $1 million question. Have
Hmm.
you guys been brainstorming fire use cases in Oregon?
Um, we have a little bit. We're also this has been going on for a couple of years now, but we're in the midst of a limbs replacement project. So kind of a lot of the scheming and planning and the kind of tools that we might have at our disposal are a little bit up in the air right now still. But we've thought of some use cases like for like missing provider information. Um, probably the biggest challenge that, from my perception, I mean, from my perspective, is probably just finding those community partners that are ready to kind of engage and stand up fire client or server, probably a client, but yeah, it's just resourcing and yeah, just technological maturity are challenges globally.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we have definitely touched on some fire uh, innovative use cases on some previous meetings. We've had some presentations on using fire for vital records exchange, for newborn screening follow-up. I'm not sure if there's any other, topics related to fire that we could cover that would help with something like engaging community
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah,
But
our ACDP section at the OHA, I believe they recently set up a fire bulk query with Oregon's largest public hospital, OHSU.
mhm.
So there's somebody on the call from ACDP that may be able to speak to that. And I believe that was set up using Rhapsody.
Hey, Paul, this is Rob. Thanks for the introduction. I was just about to pipe in and say that my colleague Michelle built a query using Rhapsody to ping OHSU's Epic fire system and get respiratory hospitalization records from them on a weekly basis. I know just enough to say I kind of know how it works, but definitely not enough to like be able to demo it for this one. But it's a pretty cool implementation that she made. And maybe I can talk her into demoing it next time if there's interest.
I will speak just for myself, Rob, that I definitely have an interest in hearing about Michelle's query.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely interested in seeing the use case and how the data is how it's connected to the Epic system and entire use case details, probably.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll do my best to convince her over the next month to
Okay. And Rob, you can blame
come
Paul. He was the originator.
out. No, I heard him talking about fire and I was like, oh, well, we've done a fire project. And so I was going to jump in anyway.
No, that's very exciting. I've been trying to keep tabs on a lot of the fire projects that public health agencies are doing, and this is one I haven't heard of yet, so that's exciting. All right. Well, thank you to Jim and Paul. Would others like to contribute to the conversation? And again, it does not have to be a major achievement. It could be just what is driving you crazy, why you're tearing out your hair. This is a good group for support and understanding for projects that may be a little bit thornier and harder to move through the process. It would definitely seem like quite a few labs and agencies are in the middle of system replacements, whether it's surveillance systems or LIMS. Um, I'm curious if it would be helpful to have one of these sessions dedicated to, I guess, the integration engine component of a system replacement and go live. You know, what kinds of testing or retooling you would need to do, where that goes on your timeline and what kind of effort. Would that be a topic of interest to folks?
Yeah, sounds good.
I hear Ed's chat. I know that resonates with folks. So just trying to keep our heads above water in general right now. I can totally understand that. Well, Ed, even if it's something like, how to make it easier to tread water. Whether it's something that we can help you guys, to figure out how to automate, take a burden off, make something a little bit easier to do. We could try to frame some of our meetings like that.
Yeah, I'll throw out something to say, but I mean, a lot of it's just like, I mean, we got, cyclo everywhere, and of course, Michigan's been one of the hardest hit for that. So it's been a matter of trying to keep things up for us. And it's a lot of it's just, it's the same record played again, making sure, trying to find ways to keep the labs moving and keep the cyclo labs coming through and not get hung up on local codes or, and the like, and then just kind of that bit. It's, same song, different verse, So, um, but if we had a good way of even being able to systematically describe the problem, and run with that, that would even be, if we could even get to that point, would be helpful. But it's just been, it's all been a whack-a-mole game of, fixing this here, plugging that, um, so. And then, of course, we're all kind of running into the like, well, it's August 1st now. The
Yeah.
Whatever COVID money that's left is gone forever now. So, trying to figure out how to keep not pick up the pieces, but rather keep the pieces from floating away. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Ed, it's Debbie from Rhapsody.
hi.
When you how are you? When you say something about you said something about getting hung up on local codes, like what do you mean there? Or maybe
Well,
elaborate on that, make sure I have an understanding.
oh yeah. So I mean, it's the usual. I mean, the majority of sites by far will be sending Loink and SNOMED codes like they should be. But it's the handful here and there. And the one that kind of surprised us for a little while was like Quest SJC was sending a local code on one of their cyclo results for a little bit. So it was the way our Rhapsody is set up for this kind of thing. We, all the HL7.2 messages will come in. It's compared against a known table of, usually links and SNOMEDs, but also, throw in your sprinkle of local codes that we've accumulated over the years. And then it determines, which condition it is based on that, and then assigns, which system it's routed to based on that. And so it's a matter of like, oh, well, here we go. Here's another one that's come in as a local code. Let's figure out if we can reach back to do it. So it's a lot of those little pieces, but these are kind of like, part and parcel in a way of like a constant data quality chase for us. But it's more of, let's try to find the best way to put it, more of like a more intense one because everybody wants to know about the cyclo that's going on right now. So it echoes COVID in that aspect, but thankfully without the intensity of COVID.
So you just have local codes that you don't currently have cross-mapped
Yeah,
pop up and kind of
yeah,
create a little havoc.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and it'd be one thing if the codes just kind of looked like, like, oh well, somebody just didn't put a SNOMED tag on this one, but it is a SNOMED. But yeah, no, some of them are like pretty unique, and I'm always hesitant to map a lot of those local codes, especially ones that aren't like specific to stuff, because of the fact that, like, if you have the word COVID as your local code, well, it's you're probably not going to map that as a salmonella code. But a random 7-digit number, I mean, you don't know who's going to accidentally pick that random 7-digit number to be another condition of the local code someplace else, which is, of course, underlines why we all use SNOMED, but it comes back to that, tisk tisk. So I'm not gonna make my life worse by being purist on it. I mapped the local code so it went through, but I just kind of keep it a little note someplace saying, hey, when this outbreak's over, unmap that code.
Yeah, so you could have the same code come from different sources, but
100%.
you have to be careful about that it doesn't.
Yeah.
So you don't have any way to say, oh, it's this source. So if they're sending it, then it's this. If it's this
exactly.
source.
If
Yeah.
we were going to go whole hog on local codes for stuff like that, that would be like a change that we would probably do, where we'd be like, okay, well, we would do code matching to the source. But I mean, to be honest, we always kind of looked at it like, why bother to do that? Because really, in all honesty, if we're seeing local codes get caught someplace, we should be reaching back to the lab and say, hey, use this. And I believe SJC did fix that. I mean, we're seeing them come in with Loink codes now instead of local codes. So, so that, I mean, but that's part of the reach back, right? And so we got to make sure that are we seeing it like that? Are we not using the local code anymore to remove it?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with an 8-digit number, it's not likely, but we used to, like, back in the day, if I want to feel my age, it would be like, oh, okay, well, somebody sent a 7. I'm like, what? No, that's not good, man. Anything can be 7.
Or schmuck. No.
or the days where because we also have an item in the system itself where it looks at, like, it kind of as a repeat, washout, where it's like, if we see a control ID repeated from the same sender, that we would just ignore it, assuming it's an echo in the system someplace along the line. And we ended up having to put in an item where not only is it unique that to the day, but also, or to the sender, but also the day of the message send to be able to do that, because we had a few sites that when they first onboarded or were getting ready to send or switch something or made some change someplace, decided that, brand new day, brand new set of control IDs starting from
Right.
zero. And oh boy, that was a mess to figure out. but here I am just cashing on about, past glories. So I'll shut up for a while.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, no, and Ed, I think you're onto something there. It may be worth a conversation with the technical assistance team to, see if they have any thoughts about best practices or who might be doing something a little bit more effective in terms of that code matching back to the source, and if they have any thoughts. So that might be something we can keep working on. All right, a couple of ideas. I mean, just that, I've been thrown around is maybe it would be helpful to talk through how jurisdictions approach troubleshooting if there's an SOP that's kind of like, or best practices that are recommended for, you think there's an issue somewhere in the data exchange, somewhere in the data feed. It could be Rhapsody related. How do you pin that down? So that could be something that we've got we can get the technical assistance team on. They can kind of walk through what they've seen, what kind of SOPs might be useful. And again, that's maybe helping folks tread water a little bit more effectively. Um, I know we've talked about COM points and APIs, but it could be something we can review again. Um, could be something that we talk through some, I guess underutilized functionality, and that could come out of that product telemetry discussion that we have. Like what is it that Sean has found that like nobody happens to be using, and why is that? And are we missing a golden opportunity? So I definitely want to come back to these topics. I want everybody to just be thinking about like what is it that you would like to, would be helpful for you guys to log on to these calls and talk through, have somebody knowledgeable kind of present ideas to you, or just be able to bounce ideas off of your peers, see how, Tennessee can compare to Alabama, can compare to Connecticut, to whatever, so that, you guys know all the different approaches that are in use, and can make use of the work that others are doing. So we'll come back to this. Any last thoughts before we move to our next topic? Okay. All right, so I'm going to pass it over. I think Sean's going first. Just a couple of really super basic high level updates on Rhapsody releases. Sean, are you on?
Email? Yep. Hi, everyone. Uh, do you want me to, are you sharing the slides or do you want me to do that? I'm happy either way.
I was going to defer to you first, but I do have them available if you want me to pull them up.
Oh, it's all right. I've got them too. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just share my screen. Okay, just some quick updates just to share with everyone where we are at. But just looking backwards, recently released in terms of Rhapsody related items. So Rhapsody 7.8, that is still our last minor release from March this year, although we did give it a small maintenance patch at the start of July. Web Axon, this is not directly Rhapsody integration engine related, but from 7.6 we released Axon, I guess an assistant in the IDE. That's only from 7.6 onwards. So WebAxon is a web version of this, so it is accessible by anyone, regardless of whatever version of Rhapsody they're on. You just need you just follow a URL, and you just need a one login account. So that's WebAxon. And at the end of June, we released Agentic IDE 1, which is a version number 800-agentic.1. So this is our first agentic IDE or IDE with agentic capabilities. So it has tools within it that allow you to create for the creation of communication points, routes, filters, and those tools can be used agentically. So you can type plain English commands, create so and so with so and so, and it'll create that for you. And I won't go too much into that because I think Debbie, you are going to go into this a little bit later.
Yeah, you're gonna steal all my
Yep. Okay.
thunder
So
if you keep talking.
sorry. I'll.
It's all
Yep.
good.
I will let you do the deep dive explanation of that then. So yeah, I'll move on. Yeah, and 7.8.2, as I said before, that was our first patch release for the 7.8 branch. Coming up at the end of this month is a new version of the Agentic IDE with a few more tools. We're just going to be adding continually new tools into this Agentic IDE. So that is available late August, end of this month. And then just a note that actually when we roll forward into Rhapsody 8, there won't be a separate Agentic IDE when we go into Rhapsody 8. The 8 IDE will just have this rolled inside it. The next minor release is Rhapsody 7.9 in November this year, and then we've got Rhapsody 8.0 currently scheduled for June next year. Any questions there? I can't see the chat for some reason.
There are no
I think
questions.
Debbie might cover this, but Sean, just to be clear, does any Rhapsody user have access to the Axon, but then the Agentic IDE, it's only if you have Rhapsody 8.0 or above, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll talk about that at a high level now. So the Agentic IDE is 8.0.0 because well we were moving on to Rhapsody 8 anyway, and one of the upgrades for Rhapsody 8 was a fairly major one that is changing the underlying framework of the IDE from .NET Framework to .NET Core or .NET 8. So that's why we've this is actually it's a Rhapsody 8 IDE, but we've taken away the normal restriction is that you can't connect a version of the IDE to a different major version of the engine. But here we've taken that restriction away. So the Agentic IDE can connect to a Rhapsody 7.6 or higher engine. It needs to be 7.6 or higher because that is when we introduced some access rights or an access right to control Axon. So that is that's basically the reason. Axon, you don't. It's not. It's just a URL that you go to. So it doesn't. It's not tied to an engine.
Yeah, for those. So to answer the other part of that question, Mel, is I put the web link in the chat, and so for anyone that's not up to the appropriate version, which a lot of people aren't, but you can use the web version to sign in with your one login credentials. So if you have those, or if somebody doesn't, I would be surprised for too many people on here that don't, then you just sign on and there you have it. So, and I'm going to actually do more of that, like demonstrate it and show you what it really looks like and stuff, but feel free to do it while we're talking too.
I'll leave that to you. I'll go to my next slide. I really apologize. I cannot seem to see the chat. So yeah, if there's
It's
anything,
okay. I'm watching it for you, Sean. There's not
okay.
any questions and stuff. I got it.
Right. Okay. I'll just go to the next and final slide. This is just a tiny sneak peek at single sign-on, which is our next which is a feature in the next minor release of Rhapsody 7.9, again due in November. So yeah, single sign-on. This will allow you to log into the IDE in the management console using your organization's credentials, identity provider. So it will support all the common ones like Entra ID, Okta, and Cognito. So in this screenshot here, this is just a screenshot of the management console, a new management console page where you can set up single sign-on. There is also a backend file where you can do this, but we are trying to get more of the backend files accessible through the management console. So this is a new page and kind of just reflects the backend file. So yeah, in here you can just see that I've got it enabled. I have a local auth policy here where even local users can log in, but you can certainly change it so that only users from the identity provider can log in. Yeah, there's really not much to see. It's just something you just set up one time, and then that's pretty much it. You can have more than one identity provider if you need to. In this case here, I've just set up an example Entra ID with really dummy client ID and URLs. And then really, and at the bottom of that, then you do your group mappings and any specific user mappings if you need them. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. The last thing to note here, we do have a beta program running currently, so we're just doing that in the month of August. So if you are interested to see if how this will work out for you, just feel free to contact me, and I'll just send you details for the where to download the installer and how to get a license, and then just some questions that you can run. Single sign-on itself, probably for a Rhapsody administrator, relatively simple, but the main work is actually for your system administrator. They have to go off and get the right things set up for the identity provider, and then provide you the details. But as long we will have instructions on what details they need to bring back to you.
Hey, Sean, we do have one question.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Sorry about quick. Which release has the S3 inbound COM point support?
That is also 7.9. Yeah, so that's coming. So 7.9 is mainly single sign-on, and then 3 different upgrades for the S3 COM point. So 1 is the input mode. 2 is support for VPC endpoints for S3. So that is just a different way to connect to an S3 bucket. And then the last upgrade for the S3 COM point is support for the AWS key management store KMS. So that gives you control on how you encrypt files that you're writing out to the S3 bucket. So yeah, those are the kind of the main themes for 7.9: single sign-on and S3 improvements. So single sign-on is the 3rd most requested item that we have in the backlog, and the input mode for the S3 COM point is the 2nd most.
Another question, Sean, from Anthony. Will SSO have a generic OpenID Connect provider?
It uses OIDC. We're not, but it connects to your identity provider.
You specifically called out Entra and others. That's why I was asking if it would. You know, we use Keycloak, right? Not a standard like Okta or anything like that.
We're testing with Keycloak. We're testing with Keycloak. So if you have Keycloak, then that should be possible as well. I see. Yeah, I mean, we have tested with at this stage a number of identity providers. So not guaranteed that we'll be able to support every single one. They all seem to, though they use OIDC, there are subtle variants. you can probably configure your way through most of the little subtleties, but we're certainly supporting the common ones. And Keycloak is, although we've tested with Entra, Okta, Cognito, we're primarily using Keycloak at the moment for the testing. So that should definitely work.
Sean, another one. What's the timeline for 7.9? Is it this month?
And that should be sometime in November. It may be a little bit later in November at this stage. There are, aside from these features, there's a fair number of security vulnerabilities that we are addressing. So yeah, it's just library updates, etc. So there's a few things.
So November is 7.9. Then what about 8? I'm sorry.
8 will be at the moment targeted for June next year.
Okay. Tracy,
Yeah,
hopefully
that's,
that helped answer your question.
Maybe I'll
Sorry, Sean.
stop sharing this and I'll. Oh, there's the chat. Okay, I found it. Got it at the end. Sorry.
That's okay. I was just making sure Tracy got her question answered. I think she's looking
so
for the difference on time based on some features they're interested in.
Yeah. 7.9 will be hopefully one of the final, if not the last, release in the 7 series. So pretty much kind of like the 6 series, we would ask customers later on to just upgrade to the latest of that series. So the 6.10 is sort of the place. If we had to do an emergency patch for the Rhapsody 6 series, we would do it only on 6.10. Eventually, that will be the same for the Rhapsody 7 series. So being on 7.8 or 7.9 would be preferable. I don't expect many customers to go to 8.0 directly. I think most customers would probably wait a little bit longer. Yep, and definitely upgrading is definitely a time-intensive task.
That was all the questions that popped up. I think I got them. If not, speak up, please.
Debbie, I'll pass it to you then.
All right. Let's see if I can do this. I'm usually not the one sharing, so here we go. All right. So Ben, Sean, oh, wait a minute. Y'all can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then, but my other thing went away. So anyway, okay, that's
we can see your internal PowerPoint screen if.
Yep, that's what. Yeah, that's even a better answer, Sean.
In case you had it open somewhere else.
Yeah, that's all good. So Sean kind of already talked about Axon, the agentic agent, and I call it an intern in my pocket, right? Because I get questions all the time, all day long, as I talk to customers. I don't have the technical background, and so I ask Axon a lot of questions. So hopefully it's going to be helpful for you in a whole nother realm based on this group's usage. But just sharing this first, and I know Mel's going to share things. I dropped one of the links for the webinar. So it was a live webinar we did with Axon. It was great. There was demonstrations. We heard from a customer or two and how they're using it. So pretty fabulous. But here's just a bunch of links for resources, just so that you know where they are. You can hear about it, read about it. In the community, we've got the data privacy FAQ. If there's more things that need to be answered beyond that, reach out to your account representative. Of course, I'm always a good backup, but we can answer questionnaires, etc. We're getting a lot of those. Most people are trying to manage, AI and their and so forth. So just know that. Of course, Sean just talked about the release. That was in the release notes for the agentic part, which just means it could actually start doing work for you. So it can help you move at the speed of business, as we like to say. And then there were some user group sessions that talked about Axon as well. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff out there for you to see it in action, but I'm actually going to show it to you. So let's see if this will work. I shared a screen maybe instead of, now do you see the website of Axon?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Okay, great, thanks. I couldn't know if I'd scared, you know how it goes, whether it's shared a window or screen. Okay, so this is just the web link, and as you can see, it's just asking me for my single sign-on. Tells you all about it, just some easy questions to ask, what it does, etc. But this is pretty fun. If anybody wants to ask a question, wants me to drop something in the chat, by all means, drop something in the chat for me to ask. Otherwise, funny, Jim. I'm just gonna walk through all of this. Your opening page is again going to tell you some things. So see, here's that FAQ as well. It's out on the community as well. There's always this what's new. We always encourage everybody to go here first because it'll tell you what's been released. We do things about every 2 weeks now, and there's nothing available. So well, there you have it. I need to let somebody know about that because yesterday there was all kinds of stuff here. Otherwise, you just sign into whichever engine you're using. So for this group, it's Rhapsody. And let's see, I think I popped a, no, that's the wrong link because I had questions up. That was the one I just copied. Excuse me a second. I'm going to go pop something off of my canned question list. All you got to do is pop something in there. Now, I can't show you how to build anything. That's kind of not my thing. The goal here was, oh yeah, demo gods. Yep, Deb, I agree with that. You know, if we want to do more on this, we are happy to come and have like our product manager do a full demonstration, walk through some of the building things and how it works, etc. It's pretty great. So we've been doing that for a lot of clients. So we're happy to support this group and this forum if Mel will let us and stuff. But as you can see, it'll answer your question. You know, things to look for, what to do, etc. Here, check for this, enable this. I mean, it walks you through everything. So it's a pretty cool thing. Let's see, here's one. Let's see. These are some things I already have asked it, so I try to go to that one. This was one, it's probably applies more to core point, but I was asking the difference between availability or high availability and disaster recovery. It's a license thing in the core point space, but as you can see from a Q&A perspective, it gives you a lot of detail and some comparisons between the things. I do a lot more work in core point than I do Rhapsody with a lot of my customer base, so I have more of those. So here's another one. Ask it about an API pull. How can you use an API to pull the audit log daily for automation purposes? Well, let's see what it says here. But the goal here is like, it is really, oh, I think I've got it in core point instead of Rhapsody. Sorry, I clicked over when I hit that last question. Let's do it over here. This is supposed to be a Rhapsody question. Let me double. Yep, it is a Rhapsody question. Sorry, my other page, I have a list of core point, Rhapsody, generic ones, etc. So let's watch it think. Anybody have anything they want me to ask? You could speak up. Happy to drop it in there. See how it works. But when you get when it gets to be building, it'll actually talk you through if anybody else is using any AI chats. Like I use Claude and ChatGPT. Claude's really good about talking you through exactly what it's doing. So when it's building, it will actually do that for you too. It can launch something for you. Future roadmaps are all about being able to help you troubleshoot, to tag into monitoring, etc. So see, this is how it tells you. It's telling you right here all of the steps of things to do. So you can thumbs up it, thumbs down it. We are all for if you think something is wrong, by all means, like, you know, do that and submit it. We're not using customer information. Our product team actually reviews every one of those to review the answers so that we can make them better and so forth. I see some stuff going on in the chat. So Mel was just asking too. Yeah. That Jyoti gets left emails. She might. Sorry, Jyoti. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I'll go ahead and call it good thing.
And see, it's even good for Jyoti too, because she can use it as well. So anyway, so that's a little bit of a teaser. I'm not gonna I was trying to think. Sean, another good one to show anybody? Just a good answer to a question. Let's see. I'm gonna ask one more, see what it does.
By the way, the what's new works for me.
The what?
The what's new. It works for me. It's just you.
Oh, I got it. There it goes. Okay. It's just me. Thank you. There we go. How do I troubleshoot high working memory alert? See, you got certain alerts. You get on those, stick them in here, and it'll tell you exactly step 1, step 2, all of these things. So you get alert fatigue. Have at it. How about that? Round of applause. I was gonna go back here and see if it said anything about what's new. Yeah, just me. So anyway, give it a shot, right? The web link's out there. All you need your logins. If you don't have them, send an email to support. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate the support. You can email support. They can reset your credentials if you need to. Tracy, where we might find documentation that would help us validate if these features meet. I don't know. I'm gonna watch this, Tracy. That might have, oh, that is, I did not copy your question. The other good thing, you did help me think, it's not gonna copy it, is documentation. When we get a lot of just various pages of documentation and you want it summarized, it does a good job with that too, so.
Tracy, is your question? Oh yeah, go. Let's see what happens here.
When you say these features, Axon features is pretty much what you're saying?
I think so. And I might be admitting here that I don't know enough about it to know whether it's something. I mean, I guess that's part of the question, right? Like, is this before anybody in our group in Oregon would use this? Would we have to validate that it is?
It's probably, I think it probably depends on it's probably safest to do that here. I mean, we're not taking any context whatsoever, but I guess any AI usage probably, at least for other customers that I've talked to, anything at all needs to go through the AI board or committee.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's I think I missed it, but yeah, Debbie had we have that data and security FAQ here. But I think, Tracy, your question is if you can't come here, then you can ask the support team or your account manager, and we can just download and send you the PDF file. The idea of the PDF file is that you can just take it in and show it to your,
that. Yep.
Yeah. So I dropped the link just maybe for ease. There's the brochure, which of course you can go out on the website and look too. But that FAQ is, I didn't download that, but I can if folks have a lower version of Rhapsody, say 6.5, can they still use Axon beyond searching that knowledge base? So you can't use Axon on the IDE, but you can use the web link. Oh, Mel, you asked that question. So you won't be able to use it with kind of, in the IDE of the engine, but that's what the web link is for. So until you do that.
You can still take like the instructions that it provides. It would give you kind of like a blow by blow of what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. So, I mean, I'm not attached to an engine. I'm just using the web link and stuff. So yeah.
If you're asking and even if for specific things, then maybe you might have to check the version. So like you can ask it to create V1 JavaScript but you may have to clarify that. It may do v2 JavaScript automatically.
I'm going to try to find the FAQ document.
If you scroll down on the left-hand side, Debbie.
Yeah.
In the menu.
Is it on the left-hand
side?
side?
All the way down, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. See, I don't ever scroll down that far. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to export this and can I drop documents? Oh, there's a file. Okay, hang on.
I'm kind of curious, is there anybody on here who would go on record as saying they think that they could use Axon today, given their AI policies, or that they are using it, they have tried it out? Going back to Tracy's question. Is anybody ready to use it today?
Yeah, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you go first.
I was going to say that's a groovy question because I know we're working on our own internal AI policies. And in fact, my question related, so I'll go ahead and throw it in there, was whether or not this has inherent metadata governance capabilities. So if we're using Purview or Calibra or Iceberg or something like that, because we're going to use metadata differentiation for how we're applying AI, at least locally within our environment.
I don't know about that. It might not, but Debbie on our side, probably the right person is to take that.
Yeah,
question.
I would.
Maybe later time is Samantha.
Yeah, we can. So yes, Samantha, who's our product manager, would be the one to answer that question. I would also see if they answer that in this F8, the security document.
Okay.
I'm trying to upload it. I'm going to stop sharing here real
No
quick.
problem.
I'm trying to upload it and it won't let me.
With regards to the AI side, you said that Axon was powered by Claude, and so I hope it's a frontier model on the back end.
It is not powered by Claude. I was referencing the fact that I have used Claude otherwise and stuff too. So it is not powered by Claude. So just to clarify that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I got that data security. I was just saying I use other tools and was trying to, I like how it explains everything that it does. So as I was showing you, it's just the differences in tools. I mean,
yeah, no problem. So is it a local
Okay.
model that's local to Rhapsody, to your Rhapsody instance?
I think it's one moment.
And this from an AI policy is a big issue because, quite frankly, we're taking the inherent distrust of a BAA with a frontier model. So we're looking at things that are either within our AWS environment or even a local LLM construct.
So we're using Amazon Bedrock.
Okay.
So that's in the I guess if I could share my screen again. Moment.
I'm going to drop some other things in the chat for everybody while Sean's doing that too.
So if I have Rhapsody hosted in my AWS environment, Axon reaches back out to your AWS environment and back.
That's right. So it's
okay. Could I rehome that to my own Bedrock?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
So I've just sharing my screen, I think, and this is the FAQ again. So just on the AI model and governance. First question is so we're using a third-party pre-trained LLM via Amazon Bedrock.
That's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yep. So that will definitely, things like this will definitely influence your whether or not you can, will influence whether you can use it or not, depending on your AI policy. And then again, so this is generic Axon, and then later on it does become more complicated with the agentic IDE. So with Axon by itself, just the assistant here, it's just on the web through the IDE. Same thing. It's just a web view out, but also it does take the engine version. But if you're using the agentic IDE, it does pull some of the config around. So there is, if it's not here already, there will be an updated FAQ on that, because that will need more. You'll have to shine the spotlight around more on that to see whether it does meet your AI policies. With that, I'll stop sharing.
All right, and I want to acknowledge that we're just about at time. Debbie and Sean, if there are any more questions, could you guys stay on for a minute or two?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I actually have a hard drop now.
Okay.
But just feel free to ping me any questions, or if there are questions in the chat that you can't answer, Mel, just you can ping them to me after, and I'll try to get those answered after.
Great, thank you. All right,
Thank
like
you,
I said,
everyone.
we'll stay on for another couple minutes with myself and Debbie, and I know we're losing folks, but if there are final questions, we can take them now. I think we can also continue this discussion as part of our September call, because I definitely want to get more thoughts about this functionality, who might be able to use it, how you're using it. So message from Paul in the chat that he has used it, with some feedback for you, Debbie, about some hallucinations as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and you can choose not to use Axon, so it can be turned off. So don't think it's an automatic thing once you upgrade as well. Just an administrative setting, so.
All right, are there other questions from folks that are still on?
Not really a question, but the Axon was really useful for just quickly looking up the documentation. Like if I had a question about something that I knew, from training however many moons ago now, I could just write my question in plain language, and instead of having to ask GLT, I'd get an answer from the Axon, and it was pretty great for that.
Yeah, great. Yeah, documentation piece. I would never thought about that. Again, something I just don't do every day, but that was brought up by in the webinar. One of our customers, it was University of Rochester, talked about it, and they called that out too. And I was like, oh, what a great thing. So yeah.
Yeah, the one thing was the hallucinated feature, the thing that I mentioned in the chat. I'm trying to remember what that was, but it was something like, oh, you just have to go here and like push the button to, switch the setting. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that sounds good. And then I go and there's no button. So, um, but it's the kind of thing that like, oh, if there was a button to do that, that'd be really helpful. I don't remember what it was now, though. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, great things. And if you all start to use it, bring them to the next meeting, or even share them. And otherwise, again, I'm always here to assist. If you don't know your account manager, or happy to find your account manager, feel free to, just email support about some questions or something too. If there's surveys to be answered, then again, send them to your account manager, or I'm happy to help route, and we'll get them all answered for everybody. But I encourage you to start with that FAQ. That takes care of a lot of things, but there's been other ones and stuff too. So easy to manage. We expect it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to suggest that we start off our September meeting asking if anyone has gone into Axon and what they thought, and whether or not they were able to find the information they needed. So, all right. Well, thank you, Debbie. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody for contributing to today's discussion. And looking forward to continuing these calls now. And we'll see you again in September. And I will send out the link to the recording here very soon. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
One last plug, Mel, because
Yep.
I forgot. Our Connect conference is in October. So if anybody wants to come, and I can get you a discount, but you got to sign on to Axon, or just talk to us. But October 19th through 22nd, if you want to do the training as well. So sorry, I forgot. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. All right, take care.